Introduction. What do you think about when I ask you, what is gender? Is it how you dress? How you act and behave? Is it determined by the shape of your body or the type of hormones you have? Gender refers to the socially constructed rules and expectations that are applied to the title of each gender. Since there are rules and expected behaviors established by society, the concept of gender will vary and change with different cultures and over generations. However, sex refers to an individual's biology, such as anatomy, chromosomes, and hormones. While these two concepts are similar and interact with each other, they are indeed different topics. Differences between men and women. There are big questions that are often asked. Which gender is better? Are boys better than girls? Are women better than men? The gender similarities hypothesis, created by Janet Shelby Hyde, proposes that men and women are very similar in terms of psychological topics. Furthermore, when differences are reported, they are negligible in comparison to the similarities. It is still not known if these differences are caused by nature or nurture. Which gender is more aggressive? Another question that comes to mind is which gender is more aggressive? Due to gender stereotypes, it is assumed that men are more aggressive than women, but that's not always the case. The stereotype that men are more aggressive than women may be due to differences in socialization between the two genders. The masculine ideals of stoicism, dominance, and toughness are taught to young boys. In contrast, feminine ideals such as kindness, creativity, emotional sensitivity, and gentleness are taught to young girls. What about emotions? It is common to think that women are more emotional than men, and that may be the case if we are talking about how much one outwardly expresses their emotions. However, through a study performed by Anne Kring and Albert Gordon, there was no difference between genders in experienced emotions. The contrast between masculine and feminine emotional expression is caused by gender socialization. From a young age, boys are taught to be stoic, while girls are expected to wear their hearts on their sleeves. There are, of course, biological and evolutionary theories when it comes to gendered behavior. These evolutionary theories are hard to test, and the results can be interpreted in a variety of different ways that shift meanings around. Aside from physical differences, evolution, brain structure, and hormones play a relatively minor role in gender differences. Gender socialization. Socialization refers to learning how to behave in a way that is acceptable to society. For example, we are taught rules like not to hit or bite our classmates, how to speak politely, how to greet a family member, friend, teacher, or stranger, and how to generally act like a good human being. With all that socialization, we are also taught how to be a boy or a girl and what is acceptable for those genders in society. Why is understanding gender socialization important? The reason why understanding gender socialization is important is because these societal expectations may create barriers to your own personal growth. For example, with boys and men, these barriers of personal growth come out as physical aggression and violence as a way to defend their masculinity when their sense of manhood is threatened. The suppression of emotion that's associated with masculinity can create strained relationships and less social support. Due to social isolation caused by the suppression of emotions, a larger problem may be created, which can ultimately result in an increased risk of anxiety and depression. Here's an illustration I made about masculine gender stereotypes. For many girls and women, barriers to personal growth are related to the old-fashioned idea that femininity and success cannot go hand in hand. The constant assumption that men are more skilled than women leads to the tendency to underestimate their achievements. This causes girls and women to shy away from certain opportunities due to the belief that they are not worthy of high-ranking positions. An illustration about feminine gender stereotypes. The goal of this booklet is to help you understand when and how certain gender roles and stereotypes start to affect you negatively. When you learn what gender stereotypes and expectations are holding you back, you'll be able to avoid falling into damaging gender stereotypes and define gender norms. My works cited.